The graphics card market has been in a bad spot for a while now when it comes to pricing and availability to consumers for a number of reasons. Some reports say that this production is at an all-time high, but still isn't quite enough to satisfy the demand. And there are predictions for retail availability to improve later this year. With that being said, in this video, we're going to be talking about things you can upgrade on your PC that are readily available and at normal or cheaper prices than usual. Hey, what's going on, guys? Jake Verdon Tech here, back with another video. And like I said, today we are going to be talking about things you can upgrade on your PC right now. And the criteria I have for this is things that are readily available. And I got quite a few on the list. So that's things you can buy right now for about retail price or lower than usual from what I've seen from some of the charts. And oddly enough, some of these items that we are going to be talking about are cheaper than I've seen in the past. So we're definitely going to talk about those quite a bit because it might be a good time to upgrade this on your current system or purchase this if you are looking to do a new build. So starting this off, we're going to talk about PC cases, as this is something that is pretty much always available. Obviously, depending on which case you are looking for, as there are certain cases out there that can be kind of hard to get a hold of, but you can always upgrade your case or change it out. Or obviously, if you're looking to do a new build, you're going to have to find a house for all of your hardware. Personally, cases have always been my favorite component when it comes to building PCs, as it just shapes the build, and this is where you can get kind of creative and build out your system. As like I said, this is the house for all of your hardware. And there are a lot of great case options on the market these days. The ITX pool of cases has really grown quite a bit as well. And ITX cases have definitely gotten more popular, and there are a lot more options, and they're a little bit easier to get these days. So that is a plus when it comes to ITX cases. And obviously same goes for your standard mid tower and then full tower cases as well. So you might be in the boat where you really want to change up your desk setup and maybe you want to go with something more minimal. And what can really help with that is building inside of an ITX case, as they are really small and it can really give you that minimal look that you're going for when it comes to your PC and your desk setup. As you can see, something like this NCase M1 has a very small footprint and has a just minimal sleek design to it. Obviously, when it comes to ITX builds, the thing that you might have to change along with it is your motherboard, depending on what you're coming from. If you're coming from a ATX or micro ATX, the only other component you'll probably have to swap is the motherboard. And you can always just swap cases from a certain form factor to the same form factor. I remember when I went from my Fractal Design Define R6 case. It was my first water-cooled build that I did on this channel. I really liked that case, but I wanted something a little bit different, something that had a little bit more room for water cooling and was a little bit easier to work with. So then I went to the Pantix Enthus 719, as you can see behind me, which is quite a bit different. It was going from more of a mid-tower case to a full tower. Not quite that super tower range, but it's still a pretty large case. So that is one upgrade you can definitely change on your current PC, or obviously you're going to need one if you are building a new system. So for the next couple things we have on the list, guys, we're going to jump into PC Parts Picker, as it's really cool how obviously you have a whole plethora of hardware to kind of pick and choose and build a system, but it also has kind of the pricing from all the top retailers when it comes to each component. And one thing that kind of had me wanting to make this video is I noticed the price when it comes to DDR4 memory right now. It is significantly cheaper from when I last purchased a kit of DDR4. And I keep saying DDR4 just because it's obviously the total opposite of DDR5 right now. But you can get some really good kits for a really significantly lower price than I've seen in the past. This was the kit I picked up. It's the Corsair Dominator Platinum RGB. This is a 32 gig kit. It's 4 8GB DIMMs. Really solid memory for sure. I haven't used the Dominator version of Corsair's memory, but I have used the Vengeance memory quite a bit in the past. But one thing, kind of why we're jumping into here, I really want to show you guys the pricing chart And just to kind of show you how much the DDR4 memory has gone down. And as you can see right now, this kit runs right at 219. But you can see in the past, you know, some of the top retailers from Corsair, you can see in last July, it looks like we're seeing it from Corsair. It was like $320. Memory C, those prices always seem to be a little bit higher, but Newegg, it was still $300. So we've seen it drop, you know, about probably $100, pretty close to $100 in the past year for this particular kit. And I think that's kind of across the board for DDR4 right now. Taking a look at G.Skill's Trident Z. This is the standard Trident Z from G.Skills. This is a 16 gig kit, DDR4 3600. So really good frequency. And I think this is the kit right now. I have two of these kits right now in my current build. But as you can see, $94 on Newegg is pretty inexpensive from what I remember last paying for the kit that I have. So once again, you know, 32 gigs, you can get into it for probably just a little over, right around $200 right now, which is insane. And I know probably quite a few of you that, you know, built a system, probably put in 16 gigs and you still have those two DIMMs opened up on your motherboard. This would be a great opportunity to grab a couple more sticks of whatever memory you're currently running and jump it in your system and get some more RAM. And there's nothing wrong with, you know, running just two DIMMs of 16 gigabytes. I mean, 16 gigs is quite a bit for many applications and use cases, but I do recommend it for anybody that is doing a lot of multi-application work. If you're gaming and you're trying to record a lot of your gameplay, so you have OBS open, you know, if you're running a game and you got a lot of applications that you're running along with that, extra RAM can definitely help out your performance. So RAM prices right now are significantly cheaper. If you're looking to add on to your RAM, if you're only running, you know, two DIMM slots on your current system, I definitely recommend, you know, right now with the pricing, to scoop up a couple more sticks of RAM. Or if you're looking to get a new system, right now is a good time to go with some new DDR4. And while we are in PC Parts Picker, another thing that I've noticed that, and these are kind of commodity things, right? So like RAM, storage, power supplies can be kind of a commodity thing. Obviously graphics cards, which we know where that market is right now. But storage is another thing that's come down quite a bit from when I last purchased a M.2 SSD. As I was looking at some of these prices, the Samsung 970 EVO is one that I am running in my current system, and it's quite a bit cheaper from when I last purchased one of these. I think the last time that I had bought one, I think it was around 189. So as you can see right now, it's down to 109, and you can get it pretty much, you know, it's in stock everywhere, you know, for 109. Going to the price charts, taking a look at it, we'll go to the 1 year chart, and going back to around April of 2021, they're around 159. And you know, some retailers a little bit more, but 159, 169. But as you can see, the prices have fluctuated quite a bit, so you're looking more around the 150 range. In about a year ago, it might have been 2 years since around the 2 year mark since I purchased mine, because yeah, these were the prices I was getting into a little bit more. So I think I scooped up my 1 terabyte NVMe SSDs for around 189. So coming down about $90 since then, which is really good. So this is one thing too, you can definitely upgrade in your system. Maybe if you have a standard 2.5-inch drive and your motherboard, you know, can support, which most modern motherboards now do have an M.2 slot, you can scoop up an NVMe SSD and load your OS on it and get some really good speeds out of your system. Or two, right now, this is a great opportunity to scoop up one of these and maybe use it as a game drive. That's kind of the way I have my current build set up, and we're going to be doing my new build like that too. I have two NVMe SSDs, and one is the OS drive and kind of crucial applications that I use quite a bit. And then the other one is just strictly a game drive. So it runs really well and it's very fast storage. So I definitely recommend doing a setup like that. if you can. And right now it's looking like it is much easier for everybody too, because these prices have come down quite a bit. So storage is something you can always upgrade, whether you're changing the type of storage that you're using or if you're just looking to expand on your system. It's always something you could probably use. And right now, looking at the price charts and everything, it looks like it's a really good time to purchase some more storage or some new storage. So the last thing we're going to talk about when it comes to upgrading your current PC and what's available, you can always upgrade the cooling in your current system. Maybe right now you're running a standard air cooler on your CPU. Maybe it is one of the stock coolers that came with the CPU, as AMD does that quite a bit, where they come with a stock Wraith cooler or something like that. This is definitely something you can upgrade, whether it's going to a better air cooler, because there are quite a few options on the market that do a really good job of cooling. I like a lot of the stuff from Noctua and Be Quiet, as they got some really cool air coolers. Or if you kind of want to dip into water cooling and get the performance out of it, but have more of a plug and play solution, going with something like an AIO is an excellent option, as there are quite a few companies now making AIOs, and they're getting better and better as far as the pumps go, and really can change the look of your PC too, with the RGB that is included with a lot of them. And there always is the option to do some custom water cooling, but I definitely recommend you proceed with caution when it comes to doing a custom loop in your current system, especially if that is the only system you have at the moment and it is detrimental to you doing your job or your schoolwork. That can be a little bit nerve-wracking, so I definitely recommend you proceed with caution when it comes to doing that. But custom water cooling is definitely something you can do right now, as much of the water cooling hardware is readily available, and nothing's too, I mean, it is more expensive to do water cooling, especially when it comes to fittings. It definitely adds up quite a bit. And then, which isn't totally necessary, a lot of these custom distro plates for the PC cases that are out there these days are very expensive. That's not something you have to have. And when it comes to cooling, you can always upgrade the fans in your system to get better cooling. And there are a lot of really cool looking fans on the market these days, especially like the ones I recently picked up, the SL120s. There are a lot of cool RGB options on the market, really give your PC a neat look, but also increase the performance, especially if you're just running the case fans that your case might have come with, as in many cases, they aren't the best and won't get you the best airflow, especially if you're running an AIO, which has a radiator that those fans have to pull air through. Having aftermarket fans is definitely a good way to go. So that's going to wrap up this one, guys. Thank you for checking this one out. I really just wanted to put this video together because the graphics card market, it still sucks at the moment. But with that being said, if you're still passionate about working on PCs and working on your current computer, there's a lot of other things you can upgrade right now that are available, and in some cases quite a bit cheaper. I've been very surprised as I've been buying certain components for my new personal build I'm going to be doing, especially when it came to the RAM and getting that 32 gig kit of Dominator Platinum from Corsair. RAM is quite a bit cheaper right now when it comes to DDR4 than I've seen in the past. So that kind of had me wanting to make a video like this, and there are other components like storage right now that are a little bit less than I've seen previously. So even though the GPU market sucks right now, there are things you can upgrade on your current system to maybe get some better performance out of the current system you are running. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to drop a like on it, and if you want to see more tech related videos like this one, be sure to subscribe. As always, guys, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.